Welcome to Let's Get Metaphysical, the show that stretches you beyond your five senses. When you are looking for your next step on the path into the unseen, we've got you covered. Join epic adventure seekers and level up your game with your host, reality magician Allie Bierman.
Greetings, epic adventure seekers. Welcome to your guide to demystifying your world. I'm Allie Bierman, and you are listening to Let's Get Metaphysical, Connect Heart and Mind. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to Mayana Kingerly, also known as Mama Tink. We'll reveal the how and why of Mama Tink and her mission today. First, I have a question for you. Have you ever felt like life just happens to you? If that's you, I made a gift for you. Step in a new direction. In this quick read, you'll begin to discover your power and control every day in your life. The link to download your copy is in the show notes. And now, let me introduce today's guest, one of my spiritual teachers and friend, Mayana Kingerly, also known as Mama Tink. Mayana was born in August 1958. Her life began in a dysfunctional family where neglect and abuse were everyday experiences. When her family fell apart, Mayana was on her own at 15. She entered a world without any real learning or preparation. She became self-taught, learning through experience and service, becoming a consultant to the US Dept of Education and government agencies. Her efforts led to award-winning national attention. She developed and restructured educational systems and programs. In 2000, Mayana became disabled with fibromyalgia. She began learning natural healing methods, meditation, quantum touch, Kriya Yoga, and drove into her inner being. This allowed her to discover unique methods to heal and grow that she shares with others today. She reformed her personal inner life and her outer life, met her friend Andres, founded Peace Production, and began merging lives and sharing combined wisdom and teaching. Andres's Kriya Yoga and Mayana's Blue Lotus Chakra Bloom. They established a base in Virginia and are growing a kingdom of artists in Everland. You'll find the links to learn more about Peace Production in Everland in the show notes. And welcome, Mayana.
Thank you, Allie. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so excited for this interview and to learn some of the things that I don't yet know about you. I know that many spiritual healers and energy workers study and practice knowledges. You chose a different path. Please tell us how you came to that place and where the confidence or whatever else it was came from that allowed you to move in your own direction apart from the mainstream healing community.
Well, I would have to say first that I learned not to let other people tell me what was right for me. So I felt like in my Christian upbringing, it says the kingdom of heaven is within. So I went within and I wanted to know the beings, the angels, the guides that I knew from scripture. I wanted to know them personally as family. I wanted to know what was real and what wasn't. And I felt like the only way I could find that out was by going within and connecting with each one spirit to spirit, my spirit to their spirit, get to know them individually and personally. So I did that process. I read a couple of books that helped guide me with those processes. One was Saint Germain on Alchemy by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. Can't think of the name of it. It was about the council, the 12 that surrounded Jesus. And I read about Barbara Marx Hubbard's work with the 12 around one pattern of the future human. And I came to really know myself and my inner world and my family that are unseen to our physical eyes, but completely seen when you go within. I came to know who I am, where I've come from, what my journey has been, and why I'm here. So while I did learn some modalities from others, the quantum touch was a practice I learned, which is breath and energy flow to help heal others. I learned to do it on myself, my family. My family was doing it on me. We were healing each other. And it was a really powerful practice. And then I learned Kriya Yoga from Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, the founder of Art of Living Foundation. And I took those breathing practices and I healed my fibromyalgia. I was in bed for 3 months at a time, unable to hardly move. But I was able to heal it through going within. I wanted to know, what is this pain inside of me? Because fibromyalgia is just pain, a lot of pain. So I needed to know, what is this pain that's the most important one today? Why is it there? What lesson is it supposed to teach me? And how can I get through and beyond it? And I discovered a process of however it would come, and it would come in different ways. Each meditation, I dedicated 3 hours a day to my inner journey and discovering how I could heal. So I have lots of meditative experiences that I've learned that I can guide other people through those experiences, and it helps them too.
I'm so grateful to know you, and for everything you just shared. I thought that people would think it's odd that I spend 3 hours a day doing meditation and blessings. And I love how you described your guides and angels as family, because I talked to mine. I know a lot of their names, but I never asked them about themselves. So you've already given me a new place to go for myself.
Wonderful.
And I have some more questions for you, but right now what I want to do is just take a brief sponsor break, and hang on, everybody. We will be right back with more. Okay. So seriously, you just gave me a major healing path right there.
Great. One thing I didn't say that I could add in is that I didn't know who to trust.
I picked that up here right
yes.
there? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So end of sponsor break. Pursuing where we were before, where further did you go on that journey? How did you stay on that path?
Well, first of all, I needed to know each spirit that came to me. I had a lot of distrust from my life path. I didn't trust anybody. And even these beings that were coming to me, I was like, well, how do I know if they're light or dark? How do I know if they're good or bad? Is this going to be good for me or bad for me? So I learned the pause. Now, the pause is, I'm in control of all energies. So if a being is coming to me, whether as a guide or a challenge or whatever it is, I would pause them outside of myself. And I would speak with them, I would ask them, and they have to tell me the truth, because that's the universal law. I'm in charge. They have to respond truly. And if they weren't for my highest good, they would disappear. And when they were for my highest good, and I could recognize that this was going to help me, I allowed them to come fully within, and I merged with them and got to know who they are without losing my own self. So like in channeling, people they leave their body and let another spirit come in. I was not willing to leave my body. I'm responsible for this body. So I wanted to always know, if something's coming through me, who's speaking, why are they speaking, and what is the truth of this?
Thank you for saying that, because as you said, just because an entity's coming and talking to you doesn't mean you want any part of that energy.
Right.
And I think so many people just assume that all the entities coming to guide are good energies wanting to support you, and that may not be accurate. Let me ask you, how did you get the whole concept of expanding your teaching and your lifestyle to create Everland? And first, tell us what Everland is.
Well, when I met Andras, my beloved, my friend, my partner, we met in 2012, a crucial time. His vision and who he is has always been about Everland. So I adopted this with him because he's Papa Pan and I'm Mama Tink. So we took these characters that we are spiritually, but knew they needed to be parents. The world needs parents. So we took it to the parent level, and the tinkdom of heartists in Everland. So a tinkdom is where the feminine light energy rules each individual. No matter who you are, the feminine energy is ruling. And when we come together, it's feminine processes and feminine ways. Heartists are those who have made the journey from head to heart and are living fully from the heart for the greater good of all. And Everland is wherever you are. The original story of Neverland, you can never leave, you can never get there. It's all this drama and trauma. Well, Everland is the state of being where you are right now. And you can live there. There's going to be a new name. It's not going to be heaven that we're looking for. There's a new name, and the new name we've called Everland. And now we have ground in Virginia where we're actually going to build a demonstration site.
I remember the first time you told me about that, I thought, if I didn't want to be near my children and my grandchildren, I'd be there in a shot.
Well, hopefully we'll be duplicable and we can have them little Everland communities all over.
And that really makes sense because the times are moving away from masculine energy domination toward the feminine. And I'm very much into Native American. Well, I know they don't like to be called Native American or Indigenous people anymore. So I'm not sure what the political correct term is. But in different tribes, some of the tribes are completely feminine led. And just because the energy is so very, very, very different, it's like a woman has 80,000 thoughts a day. A man has 65,000. A woman can multitask. A man can't, because we're wired differently, and not just physically, but spiritually. And what I see in the world happening now is the move towards spirituality, which is why I started this podcast, to help people understand and learn and grow and just be open to a new possibility, to a new perspective.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing the original peoples into this. The land that we're on was Siouan and Cherokee, and the Iroquois Nation, the Iroquois Confederacy, they were all a part of the Confederacy. And when the US took the Iroquois Confederacy to write our Constitution, they only spoke with the men. Our founding fathers only spoke with the Indigenous men, but it was a matriarchal society. They missed that whole piece when they founded this country.
Wow, I never knew that. That's wow. And now I know the correct term, original people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I've used. I don't know if it's correct.
It feels better to me than the others. So where you are, I know you're sensitive to energy. Can you feel the energy of all these different peoples that were there before?
Actually, yes. It's taken a little bit of time. We've been here now a month, so it's really new. And just a couple of days ago, I had the ancestors come behind me and through me, the ancestors of the land, to support and strengthen me. And I really appreciate that so much. And I really want to respect and honor not just the ancestors, but those who are living in the areas around. So we're looking for who are the Indigenous elders here in this area, and how can we integrate and work together.
That's cool. I'm excited to hear and learn more of your experiences, because I know when I go, like when I was in Sedona and I was up on a mountain with someone who was a spiritual teacher, I heard the chanting. I mean, you couldn't see anybody. And down in the valley, there was quite a population going on down there. So I'm always excited to learn what other people are experiencing, because I believe that we're multidimensional. And I know that you see some more dimensions than I see, but I feel them, even if I don't see them. And that might be woo-woo to some people. I was thinking, let me ask you how you feel about this. I think what's being called woo-woo is actually the natural way of the world. It's not new, and it's definitely not woo-woo. It's like alternative medicine. No, it's going back to how things used to be, and they're calling it alternative or the old ways.
Yes,
where are you?
I agree. I agree completely. It's the natural way of being. It's how we naturally interact with the natural world, with Mother Nature. The woo-woo term came out to denigrate this, because the teaching of the Western world has been, you have to be able to see it and touch it, or it's not real. And there's more that we can't see and touch that's real than what we can. So some people feel, some people see, some people hear, some people just know things that they didn't know how they came to know. Some people have other kinds of experiences, and it's just important to honor each individual's way of interacting with nature and the methods that we can nurture within ourselves, maybe even to become a hearer or become a seer when we didn't think we were, but we wanted that. You know, I used to go, how come they can see energy and I can't see it? I want to see auras. But then I realized, well, I see within. Mm-hmm. I see whole realms within.
Wow.
Just because I don't see what they see doesn't make my seeing anything less or anything greater. We're each individuals.
I'll tell you, I'm waiting for your book. I'm having a real educational experience here. I'm just reflecting back on everything you say from my perspective. But I spent very much my life up in trees. Trees talk to me. They have the energy. And we have a mutual friend, Elizabeth, used to talk about the tree people and the stone people. And there's no question that trees communicate all kinds of things to me. And it's just, it's natural. I always felt safe up in trees.
Yeah, they're the standing people. They hold the energy. They're pure consciousness, pure, unadulterated consciousness. And that's what we can become. In fact, my name even means the tree of love. Before the tree divided into the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, it was the tree of love. It was one tree. And that's what Mayana.
Wow, that's really beautiful. So I'm an avid reader, and I read a book called The Secret Wisdom of Nature. And something that I like to share is trees, actually, they migrate, they communicate. Nature is all intermingled in ways that we humans have no clue. So a birch tree knows the seedlings, like within 100 feet of her. She knows which seedlings are hers and which aren't. She sends feeding roots to her seedlings. And that's the kind of wisdom that most people are missing out there because we're not tuned into, though I think there's more and more movement today of, well, like with earthing and going out. And when I can do my Qigong outside barefoot, it feels different from doing it indoors.
Yes.
So the energy in your space, can you perceive a difference when you're in different areas?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, we've been global travelers, and we journeyed, we did a heart journey to connect the heart and the root. The Blue Lotus Chakra Bloom that I downloaded in 2012 is about moving the chakras, the sacral and the solar plexus chakras, and the heart and the root connect directly. So we went on a journey, and we traveled through the heart chakras in Hungary and Glastonbury, England. And everywhere we went, the energies are different. They feel different. And this is what's so wonderful to me about this place where we've landed. Mm-hmm. This is the first place I've ever been where I felt just natural, like this was my land. Mm-hmm. This is me. When I got in the shower the first time, I didn't have a transformational change from the waters for the first time ever because the waters were already me. I was brought to my place.
Wow, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I move so much. I'm looking for my place. I know when I lived in Idaho and I was out in the country, I saw these energies going across the sky, and it was said to be, and I'm not remembering the term, but it was a center for the energies. Yes, it's definitely different every place we go.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to have a Sioux neighbor, and he and his family took me to my first powwow. They explained everything that was going on there. It was like, I felt like I was going home. Mm. There are no accidents. The universe leads us where we need to go at the time we need to go there.
And you can tell that each piece of land has a different frequency when you listen to the beat of the music from that piece of land. When the African beats are totally different from the Australian beats and the European beats and the Indo-Asian and the American, and the beats and the tones come out of Earth and come through people. So it's such a wide variety.
That's so incredible. I never thought of that before. Wow. Yeah. Well, let me ask you, is there any one message that you really want to leave with my listeners today?
Yes. First of all, come to know who you are. That's the most important thing you can do, is know who you are, where you come from, and where you're going. Whatever journey you need to go through to discover that is the most important. And if you need support along the journey, there are many of us who are glad to support. I have some meditations on our website, peaceproduction.org, that are experiences I had in my awakening that I've put to digital meditations to help guide others. There's one that will help with self-healing. There are 2 different practices on one meditation for self-healing. You can do it over and over and over in different aspects of your life. There's one to fully embody. This is something we just barely touched on, was embodiment. That, we hear a lot about ascension. We want to ascend, and so many light workers have been ascending, and they're raising their frequency up and up. But if they don't descend and go through the shadow and bring the light into the shadow, they leave their bodies, and the body doesn't have the support it needs from the spirit. So embodiment is bringing all of that, bringing the shadow up into the heart, bringing the light down into the heart, and really being in your body fully. That's the most important place to be. We have a body, and our body is a miraculous thing that people stand in line for, to get an opportunity to have a body. This is a very special thing we have, and we've taken it for granted. So embodiment is raising your frequency while at the same time clearing anything that's of a less pure frequency. Is that lower? The shadow, those things that give us pain and lack of integrity and ego and all of those. Ego is a funny word to use there, but the ability to fully be in every cell of your body, from the tip of your toes to the tip of your nose, and really be present with what's happening in your body. And your body will tell you everything you need to know for your life.
Thank you, because I had intended to go there, and that's something for each of us to know and understand. I thank you very much for spending time with us today. And in the show notes, you will find the links to Everland World, to Peace Production. Thank you, and blessings to you.
Thank you, Allie. I'm so glad to be with you. I love you.
Love you too.
You've been listening to A Talk on the Wilder Side. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Get Metaphysical. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode, and while you're at it, please leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends. Tune in every Monday for more exciting insights and wisdom on life beyond your five senses. Until next time, take a small step in a new direction. Start now.